Hello everyone. As you can see, today we are unboxing a Leah. Haha, no, we are actually unboxing something a lot more special and something I did not think I would get my hands on for a long time. So let's just open it up. This is special thanks to Leah, a good friend of mine who owns Rector's Vacuum Shop out in Bellingham, Washington. She's, besides being a great friend, she also runs a great business. She sells Milo, SIBO, and really specializes in lint house. I'll put a link to the website, her website, in the description. But check her out. I mean, if you need anything as far as those machines, she's great. And I cannot thank her enough for helping me get this machine. She was really instrumental in helping me to get this because this is kind of from her neck of the woods. But let's talk more open. Okay, bubble wrap here. Oh, some car bags for unrelated things. There's a couple other things strewn in here, but let's see. Oh, man. This is a Mila hose. This is for my Blue Moon because the handle broke on me. Just the physical plastic part. So she happened to have another hose that she could give me for a broken hose for the plastics. All right. So it looks like an extension hose. Very all nicely wrapped. Handle. Packages very well, as I would expect. Bunch of things strewn in here. Looks like a belt. It's a wrap, bubble wrap that I can reserve for later. Well, I guess let's just get it out of here. Get the machine out of here. Very well wrapped, as I would expect, because this is a very old machine. Here we go. Attachments. All nicely wrapped, which is very, very appreciative. See, this is why you should do business with Leah, because she takes great care of anything vacuum related. She's another collector, so. Belts. This is an extension cord, which, because this machine kind of actually requires one. Some belts. I think these actually came with it. Should be about everything. Very careful here. Joint this. I'm just amazed that I was able to find one of these. These are very, very not common. They're rare, actually. Quite rare. And there that is. It is the S.C Johnson Vectron. those that know about Phantoms will know all about this machine. For those that don't, this is the original Phantom, before Phantom was a thing. So, in the 1980s, James Dyson partnered with Iona Appliances of Canada to design and construct a commercial bagless dual cyclonic vacuum cleaner that used his dual cyclonic technology that he had come up with. This came after the Amway ClearTrack, which was manufactured by Bissell, and that kind of whole debacle. And after that, he went to Iona, which was a little Canadian appliance company, and they made this. And this was a commercial vacuum under the S.C Johnson, sold under the S.C Johnson brand. At that time, S.C Johnson was playing around with like commercial cleaning agents and whatnot, and wanted to dip their toe into the commercial vacuum cleaner market, and thus the Vectron came about. I believe these were only sold from 89 to either 91 or 93. I've seen some that were, I saw one that was dated 93, so it may have been kind of in that range, but only for a few years and only commercially. In that, most likely, because there's not a lot of information on these out there, these were most likely sold through like commercial cleaning supply companies that sell like janitorial products to businesses. Probably vacuum dealers as well, commercial vacuum dealers. But that kind of seems to be like mostly where, these weren't sold for home use. These weren't homeowner-oriented vacuums. And then when S.C Johnson decided they didn't want to sell commercial vacuum cleaners anymore, they took the design and went back to the drawing board, changed some things about it, and came out with the Phantom. And that was sold to homeowners. So they took it from a homeowner-oriented machine, took it from a commercial machine to a homeowner-oriented machine. At first, there was the 9-amp model, which are very rare, possibly even rarer than these, because I've only ever seen pictures of like a couple, whereas I've actually seen more of these, like pictures of more of these that exist. Nobody knows how many Vectrons were made, but how many there is left is kind of another source of debate, because just no one really knows about this. It was just kind of a peculiarity, and that's why it was appealing to vacuum collectors, Phantom vacuum collectors. There's a spare hose from, looks like a regular Phantom, possibly an 11-amp. So this one has a normal Phantom hose on it because it's black. Normally these came with a white hose like the earlier 9 and 11-amp Phantoms, and this would also be this right here would be the same color as the body, this kind of interesting grayish green. So, and yeah, you can tell it's a machine because it has the short little 3-prong cord, hence the extension cord. But yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked to have this because, like I said, I never thought I would get my hands on one of these, at least anytime soon. And it has the matching attachments, which is even better, because the ones that like three of these that I saw for sale before, or I've seen pictures of. There's one that was for sale a couple years ago on eBay that went to another collector, and there's a dusting brush. There was, and I've seen pictures of other ones, like people who had other ones, some other collectors, and pretty much all of those was missing at least one, if not all, the small tools. So for this one to have all of them is a very, very nice treat. So it has the floor tool, which is pretty much just like these are all just like the early Phantom tools. They're just a different color, but still, Because I mean, there's no way you're going to be able to get these tools, matching ones, because they're all going to be, if you can even find Phantom ones, which even those are getting kind of rare these days, the standard Phantom tools in black, but to have these in the proper Vectron green is a particular treat. So it's just a Phantom. It's just an early Phantom is really all this is. But the rarity and peculiarity of it, I think, is what makes it so appealing. Another crevice tool. Does this have 2 crevice tools? I'm gonna shocked if this is the, wow, there's 2. I got 2 crevice tools. I can sell this on eBay. I get like $500 for it. No, not really. Oh, another brush too? Yeah, this thing's got spares. That's amazing. Oh, wow. So I got a spare dusting brush matching and a spare crevice tool. That is incredible. I probably knew this already, but it took a while to get this. Not out of either myself or my friend's fault. Just, things have been eventful. But, yeah. So I can see right now that, so as we can see, the end of this hose is broken, which is pretty typical of these Phantoms. I mean, these weren't the best quality machines. I mean, built better than any bagless vacuum today, that's for sure. But they're also old. I mean, this is, going on a 40-year-old machine. So these also use the same dual-stage Amatec Lamb motor as the Phantoms. I believe these had a 10 amp originally. I don't know if the motor's ever been replaced in this. Not sure if I want to take it apart and find out if it's the original motor, because I don't know what I'd gain from that. But I'm just going to be splitting hairs, really. It's a Vectron. Who cares if the motor's been replaced? But what I might do with this hose is that you can actually replace these hoses. I've seen people buy new extension hoses, which you can actually still buy the Phantom extension hoses, even in the proper kind of gray white, because this would have been gray like the 911 amp machines. So I might look into that. You can modify the extension hose to where it has the proper end and then fits in there. So I might look into that. All right, well, I guess my thing to do is to plug it in. Get this extension cord out of here. Let me get this plugged in and we'll go from there. All right, got it plugged in, but wanted to take a closer look at it real quick so we can kind of see it. But it's definitely been used, but I mean, it's an almost 40-year-old vacuum. It's about what you would expect. You can see the tools mount just like an early Phantom. No HEPA filter on these like the Phantoms. The early 9 amps did not have a HEPA filter either. That did not come until the 11 amp, the domestic, as everyone calls it, the Phantom upright, before it became the Thunder when it moved to the 12 amp model. No any kind of pre-motor filter either. I don't even think there's a lint trap in this thing, so you are really raw dogging the filtration with this machine. But here we go. Let's see. S.C Johnson Vectron, made in Canada. There's no date stamp on these. Usually these will have a date stamp kind of on the right, at least the other ones I've seen, but not on this machine. So I'm not sure if it just wore off or what the deal is, but so I don't really know the exact year because there's no other date code on these as far as I know. Notice these have, like, instead of screws, it has these sort of like, they look like the screwdriver bits. It's like the hex shape, but I'm pretty sure it's just meant to be so you can unscrew this by hand, which would make sense given it's a commercial vacuum, ease of maintenance and all that. Has a pedal just like what would be on a typical later Thunder and Phantoms. What's nice is that on the Cyclone XT and the Lightning canister that came later, the upright pedals, the upright locks pedals on those were always breaking. It was actually a miracle to find one that wasn't broken. I've never seen a Phantom or Thunder, this body style machine with the upright lock broken. I'm sure there's some out there, but the ones I've come across, this is a very solid design. And really, for considering that this is a bagless vacuum, especially an early bagless vacuum, these are actually pretty solid vacuums along with the later Phantom branded versions. I mean, they're heavy. This is probably about a 20-pound vacuum, thereabouts. So these were built pretty heavily in terms of like their construction. It's pretty beefy plastic. They used a beefy Amatec Lam twin, dual stage twin fan motor. So these definitely weren't built light. The later Phantoms were definitely, you could tell, were a little bit of lesser quality. But this body style machine, these were always, I thought, for the time and for what they were trying to be, these were always pretty heavily built, I thought. And it makes sense considering the very beginning, was meant to be a commercial machine, so naturally they needed to be at least a little bit sturdy. But yeah, all right. Well, nothing else to do now, but see if it works. Here we go. Oh yeah. It sounds like a Phantom. Kind of that signature kind of whirring and Amatec motor sound. This might actually be the original motor because it doesn't sound 100% like the later Phantoms, the 11 and 12 amp. It sounds a little bit different motor-wise. Based on there's a couple of videos of these out there on YouTube. From what I've heard of those, this sounds like those, so this actually might be the original motor. I mean, these Lam motors tend to hold up pretty well, but given that there's no filtration on this thing of any kind, it makes you wonder how well it would have held up, especially with this age. It grows pretty well too, with that kind of beater bar style brush roll. I love these early dual cyclonic bagless vacuums, how you kind of had the spinning motion in there. I always loved how seeing the dirt swirl around constantly. You don't really get that with newer bagless vacuums. I actually fix this. What is the whistle that the other vacuums do when they fly? Maybe a little bit. I actually got pretty decent suction for one of these. These aren't known for having very great suction, but this is not bad, honestly. I have to look at my suction gauge and put it on there. Maybe get a good seal. Camera cut off on me. Got a good amount of suction for what it is. Definitely. Motor sounds good winding down, but there's definitely some noise coming from the brush roller. Might just be the bearings. I'm pretty sure these are rebuildable. You can put new bearings in them, so I'll definitely have to dig through it and see what's going on. But otherwise, I mean, everything else on this seems great. You know, it's pretty well used, but considering it's almost a 40-year-old, very rare vacuum, you know, just to have it and that it's working, I'm just, I can't believe it, honestly. as a phantom collector, I'm shocked that I've been able to find one of these. I didn't think I'd find one at least so soon, but I'm I'm ecstatic. I'm just kind of like, wow. I don't really even know what to say. Just yeah. Um, but I'm definitely gonna make some more videos with this. I want to show this off. I want other phantom collectors, be able to see this and kind of just talk about it, spread the word, see what other people think, and see if maybe there's people who out there who might have some more knowledge about these, and so we could kind of find out. Because, like I said, because these were so rare and sold commercially, not much is really known about them. We don't know how many were sold. Definitely don't know how many are left. That kind of thing's hard to track for vacuum cleaners, especially ones like this. But I'm just amazed and happy to have it. And thank you again to Leah at Rector's Vacuum Shop. Definitely check her out for all your Miele, Sebo, Lindhouse, just any vacuum needs, really. Especially if you're in the Bellingham, Washington area. She's fantastic with that, and also a fellow collector, so she definitely knows her stuff. But yeah, you'll definitely be seeing this machine more. I definitely want to try to make more videos. Things have just been so hectic the last, year, really. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this.